I'm your host, Last Rites. This is the new and improved Blood Surge Summoner, as well as my future goals for the build going forward. Starting off, we have Hemorrhage. Hemorrhage is for our lucky hit chance. It has a very high lucky hit chance. It generates a lot of essence, as well as additional essence when we pick up a Blood Orb and then cast Hemorrhage right afterwards. Blood Orbs will also generate 10 essence for our Codex. Ideally, if we can find a ring with potent blood naturally rolled up to 20, that would be ideal. We'll save that as an aspect and use it going forward. So that could be a huge generator of essence for us. As well as the Fortify generation, which Blood Orbs will also generate Fortify for us as well, using the Blood Drinker Paragon Glyph. Blood Surge, we're going with this with as many ranks as possible into it. Ideally, items like gloves with +3 or more is what we're aiming for. You can get up to 4, I believe, on gloves if they're ancestral. Enhanced Blood Surge is going to heal us, sustaining us in a healthy state. A healthy state and a fortified state is where we do the most damage. So healthy will also make us stack overwhelming blood, which is going to increase our rate at which we drop our overpowers. So every 5 hits while healthy with this, we are going to drop an overpower on the next hit. I don't have any points in the Blood Myths because I'm picking it up off of my pants. So this will save you a point if you can pull that off. If not, it's not a big deal. You can just throw a point in here. 1's all you need. Thankfully, on my pants, I got a +3. But that just lowers the cooldown, makes it so I can use it a little bit more often. Also, Decrepify, same thing. You can get this on a helm, but I do not have it on my helm currently. That will save you a point as well if you can find that. 3 into Skeletal, 3 into Mage Mastery as well. Death's Embrace, damage reduction, saves your life. Use it wherever you can. Grim Harvest, whenever we empower our minions, we gain 6 essence. That's a win-win for both of us. Minions win, we win. Extra healing when we're hurt, and we will stack injured damage reduction with this build to keep us alive, and this will help us heal even more when we're hurt. So, damage reduction while injured is very, very powerful in this game. It'll make you not worried when you get injured because you're going to take significantly less damage when you're injured. So they have to one-shot you pretty much, as long as you run a lot of damage reduction while injured. So this really helps you get back into that healthy state quickly, where we're doing the most amount of damage as possible and building our stacks of overwhelming blood. Transfusion, blood orbs are going to heal our minions. This helps keep them alive and sustain them. Lucky hit chance to fortify us for 8% of our life. When you're doing AoEs like you are with Blood Surge, you're going to proc this all the time. So it's only a 16% chance, I believe, for 13 on Blood Surge, but when you hit a whole crowd, it's going to proc pretty often with the 25% lucky hit chance. Tides of Blood, this is another healthy attribute. This is going to be double for 30 when we're healthy, 15 minimum when we're not. Big DPS bonus here, and it does not show in your character screen when you check your stats, so this one is like a hidden bonus modifier, just like Bloodbath on the Paragon board does not show on your character sheet. While healthy, your blood skills will gain additional 18% damage. Again, healthy is very vital with this build. Our minions, since we're running Reapers with corpse generation, every time they generate a corpse, we'll fortify for 6% of our life. That is huge. I do not use corpse tendrils anymore. I just have it on an item. My gear is not by any means optimized yet, so this will be gone as soon as possible, and I will be focusing that stat into something else. Golem Mastery. Maxing this out because now I've added the Golem to the build. We'll get to that in the item section as well as the minion section. I put those two together. Inspiring Leader, if we're healthy, they're attacking faster. If they're attacking faster, we're generating essence faster. So that is a very, very strong skill point right here, investment that you can make on your tree. Minions deal 30% increased damage while you're close to them. Well, we get close to them to Blood Surge, so we're always close to them. So they're always benefiting from a 30% damage increase. This is why I feel like blood skills are superior with the Blood Surge versus Bone Spear, where you have to stand back. This is why the minions can do so much more damage on a blood skill based build, because, well, Blood Surge based build, because you can get close to them, heal them through the blood orbs, and they are fortifying you, sustaining you. So it's a very, very good option to run this with Blood Surge as opposed to Bone Spear, because you're not going to be as close and not going to benefit from this. Your minions cannot lose more than 30% of their life. You want this all the way up, because world bosses will one-shot them if you don't have at least 2 points in this. I like to go 3. You can give up your Blood Mist in order to pick up a 3rd point into this. If you don't have your Blood Mist on an item, put 2 into this and get Blood Mist. Bonded Essence. This is going to supplement the healing your minions get from you by casting the empowerment for your skeletons, as well as putting 2 points into this for your blood orbs to heal. Between the 2 of those, 1's all you need in this. Constantly empower them. You're going to constantly regenerate 20% of their life, and constantly pick up your blood orbs, and you'll stay fortified, you'll stay healed, and they will stay healed. Wrathmist Vigor. This is going to guarantee us an overpower every 15 seconds for our next blood skill, and 10% of our life being increased, which is absolutely huge. Onto our Paragon board. This is my current state of my board at 71. I'm going right into our damage node through Prime, up to our Glyph socket. We want to get this immediately and socket in Blood Drinker. I don't care if it's a magic version of it. We just want that blood orbs to fortify us for 7% of our life. So get the intelligence within the range as fast as possible. This is vital for this build. This is where 90% of my survivability comes from. Every time I pick up a blood orb, I get 317 life and fortify. So that's humongous. Definitely do that. Fortifying for 317 of your life is key. It's going to keep you fortified for your damage increase, and it's going to keep you alive if you stack lots and lots of damage reduction while fortified, which this build does. So vital. Don't skip this. Don't put it off. Find this glyph right away. As soon as you get it, put it in there and start working towards those intelligence nodes within range to get that bonus. It will change the build completely and make it so much stronger. We want to get the resistances and max life. Max life is more damage. Resistance is survivability. We need to have both. We want to get the extra damage and armor nodes here. Once this is expanded, we will pick up the additional damage and willpower and dex, because we need them for later nodes to get the secondary benefits. Right now, as you climb to the tree to the second glyph socket, we want to focus on the rare nodes while we get there, and the Bloodbath legendary node, so that while we're working towards it, we're getting the max benefits from the big increases. But our glyph socket is one of our primary goals, because our mages are going to be very frail at first. So at this point, you will probably be in your low 60s. If you've converted and you have all of your renowned, this will be where you can grab this socket. After that, working into your 70s, you'll get up to this part in the tree and start expanding into our cult leader board. In Bloodbath, it's very important. We're going to get everything on this board. We want everything. All of it helps this build. So this is going to give us damage while fortified, damage while healthy and overpower damage, damage over time reduction and resistance, damage while fortified and max life. All of this chains together with this build. Very important that we chain all of these things together so that this build synergizes for the maximum damage, survivability, and opens up the gates for us to put points into our minions going forward. So I'm at the point now where I will be able to start investing in my minions once this board is filled out, and I have all of these now. I need to start focusing on filling out all of these. I would start putting damage into my build, and I should say back into my build, because before the minions I had points in all of these, but I sacrificed them to convert to minion, and now I'll be slowly reinvesting into them to pick my damage back up. If you follow this guide, this board will give you roughly 550% over power damage. That's not including what you can get off of your items as well. If you play it correctly, that is. If you deviate, obviously results will vary. We're going for the mage in our glyph socket, or second glyph socket. This is going to help them survive as well as do additional damage at range. They're going to be our primary essence generator, so if they're doing a lot of damage and staying alive, we're generating essence. That's a win-win. Mages are very weak without resistances. Most of the time, mages are going to be receiving elemental damage, because elemental damage is typically ranged. So yes, they will get hit by arrows and things like that, but the primary damage that they'll be receiving is elemental effects from elite mobs, like the explosions, the fire beams that shoot straight out to the side. That's what's going to be hitting our mages, and that's why that 25% resistance is vital as early as possible, and this will help them stay alive to crowd control for you with their blizzard. The blizzard is huge. It CCs, slowing everything down with chill, and then it also freezes elites too if they're alive long enough, which this build is very good at killing elites quickly. Damage while fortified, this is huge for us. This is huge for our mages with 12.7% damage increase, and this glyph is only, I believe, what is it, level 8. So 15 will significantly increase all of this. So right now it's only 6.3 per 5 intel, so this will go up significantly as you level it up. 15 will also increase our radius as well. Healing received, this is going to heal our minions more and me, so that's another win-win, as well as the mage damage. So coming up, we're going for Dead Razor. This is going to help with your golem, this is going to help with your mages, and this is going to help with your warriors to keep them alive, as well as increase your and their damage every time they hit something. So we want to get everything, all the intel and range, as quickly as possible, but stop at 40 for this one, because there is no additional minion damage for this. So this is going to increase the percentage of the minion damage and damage reduction, not add per point. So each intelligence point is not increasing the effect of this. This is only amplifying the Paragon nodes within range that are for minions, nothing more. That is currently where I'm at 71. However, we're going to go into the 75, 100, and then max glyph boards as well, just here in a moment. Okay, my level 75 goals for the Paragon board would be this. We want to go straight up to our glyph socket, just like before. We're going to come down and grab all of our resistance and damage reduction nodes. We're going to fill out all of our bloodbath board to get everything, and then once we have the 40 within range, we're going to wait to grab these additional nodes until this is level 15 or higher. So currently I'm at 8. If I can get to 15 or higher, I will focus into these other nodes, but for now my focus is expanding to benefit my minions a little more, other than just the mage. So we're going to go right into these nodes, as well as getting our 40 intelligence and moving right up to minion damage and attack speed. Attack speed is huge for our minions because they generate us essence, they generate us corpses. The more they hit, the more they do both. So that is our level 75 goal. So in 4 more levels, this is where I hope to be. Okay, our 100 board. We're going to go with Dominate in the first glyph socket. This is because we're now going to stack over power damage, and we're going to get extra damage for our minions every time we overpower. This is going to proc all the time. We're going to fill this out, but now we're focusing into willpower at level 100 into the first glyph. That is because we have swapped Blood Drinker to our 4th board. So we'll get to that in a moment. Bloodbath, pretty much the same. Fill it out. We're going to add some damage while fortified nodes, as well as we're going to focus on filling out our Mage Skelly damage increases with our intelligence as much as possible. And then going right up into Dead Razor. This is for our Golem and our Warriors, as well as our Mages. We're doubling up on the Mage survivability because they generate us Essence. If we don't have them alive, we don't have the ability to cast our Blood Surge as often, which doesn't generate us as much overpowers, which increases their damage. So we want to constantly be spamming our Blood Surge to overpower and increase the damage of our minions. So moving on, we're just grabbing all the damage and life nodes, as well as Cult Leader for that 30% damage increase, because we have 3 different types of minions. Our final board is going to be Blood Begets Blood, and we're doing that to add a 4th effect to our Blood Orbs. We're already fortifying with it, healing us and our minions. We're also getting essence from Blood Orb pickups while healthy, or full life I mean, and now we're getting damage on top of it. So Blood Orbs are what this build's all about. If we're healing, doing more damage, getting fortified, getting essence, all from one source, that stuff is like gold. So we want to create as many Blood Orbs as possible, and we want to collect as many Blood Orbs as possible. It's going to keep us and our minions alive and doing tons of damage. This is the same thing, essentially. So this is just another separate 15% that can get piled on with this one. This one's stronger if you collect the bonus. Keep that in mind. So we want to hunt for that 440 willpower. Willpower is a stat we stack, so this should be pretty easy to obtain. And 600 intelligence, even at 71, I'm almost there already. So very easy to get that. Same with our overpower damage here, 60% if we get the bonus. So 605 intelligence, I'm already almost there. It's going to be very easy for you to hit that. All this overpower damage goes with it. And then we're going to go into our Blood Drinker socket. This is going to be there to be leveled up to 15. We want to level all of our glyphs to 15 and then go to the next. Don't go to 20 on one of them. Go to 15, 15, 15, 15, and then start leveling them up beyond that. We want this to be at 15 as early as possible to supplement our overpower damage from these these nodes within this glyph socket. So if this is 15, these 3 are going to be amplified by the magic bonus to nodes within range. So this is going to be huge for our damage, and the additional Blood Orb damage over, I think it's 5 seconds, is going to be another huge supplement to our damage. Our final board that I will include in the description below is the Max Glyph Socket board. This is going to be roughly the same thing, only it will be optimized to give us the most overpower damage as possible, as well as maintaining all of the benefits to our minions as well. So this will be roughly the same as the 100 board. It's going to have optimization where the glyphs have particular stats within range that we're going to select in a certain way to give you the maximum amount for the points spent. Okay, covering the Book of the Dead, we have our Reapers for our Skeletal Warriors. Mages, we're going for the Essence generation through Cold Mages. And our Golem will be the Vulnerable Golem, so that we can go with Iron and get that vulnerability procced as well as a stun whenever we trigger him. We are going to go with a Scythe for Life 1 Kill. Keep in mind all of the legendary powers here are going to be subjective based on the gear that you have at the time. So Scythe in the main hand is ideal. Offhand, you can go with the Shield if you prefer more survivability, but a focus is fine as well. Boots, I'm putting my mages on this. Like I said, it can shuffle from item to item, it doesn't matter. It's whatever's convenient at the time. The items that I have listed in each one of the build guides is going to cover what items should be targeted ideally in each slot, but again, it's going to be subjective to what you find at the time. Blood Mist. We're getting Blood Surge off of our gloves. Damage reduction. Focus on your chest for damage reduction and life. This is the biggest boost you can get. I have Magical Bubble on this. This helps you survive. It's a good go-to if you can't get all of the legendary powers and you can squeeze this in there. That's perfect. Good one to go with. More warriors. That's more corpses. Just like mages are more essence. Blood Surge is Nova Echoes again, and we want it on an amulet until we get Death Speakers. Then this will replace this. So I will have to put the skeletons increased damage while alive elsewhere. But again, you'll see the proper order on the build guides that I show. If you go to the item section, you'll see that it's very subjective to what you have at the time. So this on an amulet until you get Death Speakers is ideal because you'll get the best percent for the roll on it to do the most amount of damage with your Blood Surge's Echo. Ring of Mendelin. This is going to be a hard one to get. There are other alternatives that I have starred in the build guides. If you look at the build guides, the rings, I have the ones that are viable for this build are starred, and this ring is ideal for World Tier 4 and above for this build. Blood Orbs grant 10 essence. This is not negotiable really. You need this. Blood Orbs are everything to this build. That's pretty much it for the items. Obviously, it's going to be very subjective on what you have at the time. So, based off what I show in the guides on the links that I put down below, use them as a point of reference for what you're targeting, but don't expect to get everything. Even I don't have everything on that list optimized, so you're going to have to shuffle things in and out as you find them, and it's never going to be perfect, but you want to get as close to that particular item assignment that I show in the guides on those websites. So there you go. Thanks for watching. The links to all the boards are down below, as well as a link to our Discord, and I'll see you guys next time.